Hello. Welcome to what I believe is episode 8 of Pickle Juice. It's your boy Zook. I'm excited for another night of talking about the most beautiful game in the world, which we all know is pickleball. Tonight I'm hyped. Tonight, we have a little bit of a different episode. The first 7 have all been pros, but anyone who is in this space and loves this game knows that this game isn't just about the pros. It's about everyone that plays. The guest we have tonight, it's one of my favorite Instagram accounts to follow. Literally, when I got on Instagram and started building up Pickle Juice, they had me dying. I know a lot of the stuff that they've posted has gotten them to interact with some of the bigger players and bigger pros in the game, so I'm excited to ask them about that. But without any further ado, I'll invite to the stage my brothers, the ERNE Bros, otherwise known as Scotty and Matt. Brothers, how you guys doing?
What's up, Zook? Thanks for
having
having
you guys. So when I sent you guys the link, it was sending you to like an Instagram.
I guess once we copy and pasted it, we're fine.
Yeah, that's on me. But no, I'm excited for this. Like I was saying on the intro, the first 7 episodes have been, I've been talking to pros, and I've been getting it from that standpoint of why they love the game and the generic questions that everyone asks when they get a pro on. But I guess the 3 of us can have a conversation in terms of like we're not pros, so like what the fuck are we doing here, right? Why are we spending a lot of our time doing what we're doing? So I guess the way we can kind of get to that first is I read your story. I went on your website, you guys played pickleball one day and fell in love with it. That was kind of the genesis of this, but break that down a little deeper. Tell me a little bit more about that day that you guys first played and literally what captured you guys that you guys are spending time with this incredible Instagram account you created.
Yeah, so that day was in 2020. It was at Tyler Loon's Summer Lovin' tournament in Utah. And, we never really played pickleball that competitively or cared too much. Our dad was kind of the big guy who got us into it. But at that tournament, we saw on every court, it looked like there was a team of women in tutus. There was a dude with a Macho Man bandana. There was a huge Polynesian dad and son who just totally kicked our butts that day. And as basketball players growing up, there was this energy and just party atmosphere that we had really never seen at a tournament. So we were just dang, something about pickleball.
And Matt played a little tennis, but I played a little tennis for fun. Okay. It's different than tennis, you could tell.
At ERNE, we kind of rip on tennis all the time for being too boring, too, dress coded and old and slow and not casual or fun enough. So
I can't tell you how much I agree with that statement. And that's one of the things that legit drew me to your guys' account is the last thing we can let happen to pickleball is let it turn into golf and tennis. Listening to announcers with the hush hush or people in the crowd being quiet or not wearing bright colors or crazy logos, right? As much as we want the pro game to succeed as much as possible, that same feeling that you got on the day you literally said I don't care how big the pro side gets, we need to be able to walk to a court and on one side see 2 women in tutus, on the other side see a big Polynesian guy. So exactly what you guys are talking about is what this show and what I'm trying to capture. With basketball, though, growing up playing basketball, my question would be, what specifically did you think was different that, you don't have, unless you guys do, you don't have an Instagram account that's dedicated to alley-oops, right? So what draws you to ERNE's and pickleball specifically?
Different than pickleball? I'm not sure exactly, but there's just a more playful atmosphere, I'd say. People are really friendly. And I mean, in basketball growing up, we weren't playing against, 60-year-old women. So that might be one big difference. And That's why we love pickleball. No, I just think like it's like it's just this unique sport where you'll just see tons of different characters, and it's kind of surprising and fun. Just like any tournament or anytime you go play, you're gonna get a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's even like the tournament last week that the 27 seed, the boys from Minnesota made a run. I was watching some people today that lost early and they made runs in the tournament, and that's on the pro side. Then, like you said, I can go to my local court and find like people that you wouldn't think would play, and then they would run me and my boys like up and down the court. And it's quite the humbling experience because I have a pretty good idea. If I see like a 65-year-old man like shooting hoops at my local basketball court, I can be like, I could take him. But pickleball, it's deceiving. You have no idea what the skill of these people are going to be until you actually hit the ball to them and they hit it back. But the way you guys went about it, was there anyone else kind of with that on the content side and on the Instagram side when you guys started kind of going like as far as you guys have taken it to like this extreme of utmost, chaos and fun and illuminating that side of pickleball?
I don't think there is in pickleball an account that's just like kook slams or like Jerry of the day, like huge skiing wipeouts and people just being like as silly as they want. Like 5 years ago, there were the same number of casual and core players in pickleball. And everyone says like, oh, pickleball is fastest growing sport in the United States. The number of core players who play a lot is the same as it was 5 years ago. All of the growth has been like casual players. And so I don't know if there's like a place on Instagram for people who like this stuff as stupid as we're posting, but if there is, we're going to have a corner on the market.
We're going to take that.
Do you think that trend will continue? Obviously, we're dealing with like, the joking side of it, but we all do it because we love the sport itself. You said most of the growth comes from like the casual side. Is that something that you guys think is going to continue, or do you think the proportionality may go a little bit more to the pros?
I think it's going to continue. I think the number of like pros and competitive players, and we play competitively a lot, but I think number of pro players will slowly increase. But I mean, for me, it's just like every day I talk to someone who's just starting to play and they don't play other stuff. So that's kind of an indicator to me that it's just going to keep going. Like it's a very social thing for a lot, like most people that I'm interacting with.
I agree with that. And whenever someone like tells me how many people play pickleball, I immediately say that's wrong. And I ask them, how many people are there in the world? Because it feels like every single person that you talk to, like you just said, is playing this game now. It's almost like absurd and like cultish, where like, my fiance, we went to Dick's Sporting Goods and we got her a paddle. And then legitimately, like that night, the next morning, the day after that, when we ended up playing again, like she just kept talking about, I just want to go out there and I just want to be good. And that simplicity of the game while also being competitive, that I guess you can leave and like everyone's like, next time I got it. It's not like playing football. It's not like playing basketball. It's not like playing baseball where, if a pro threw pitches, at my mom or dad, they would never be able to hit it, right? There's enough skill that everyone can kind of pick up right away that allows you to keep wanting to come back just enough.
Yeah. And congrats to Zook for being engaged.
Thank you. I see a ring on your finger. Is that your left hand or right hand?
Dude,
okay,
I got married this summer, actually.
Okay, congratulations. So I'm joining the same tribe as you this December. I'm excited.
Let's go.
So let's talk about a little bit more of the business side of this, because we love the joking, we love the playing, we love the Instagram. You also have the website that I myself am a recent purchaser of some product. When did you decide that to go from a fun-loving, let's just have fun with pickleball, to, hey, maybe we'll monetize some of this?
Yeah, it kind of started at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. We just felt like, the business kind of like naturally lends itself to a fun Instagram too, because it's pickleball. So kind of happened at the same time.
So what, I asked you about the business side, I asked you about the casual side, but before we even dived into that, I didn't let you like exactly even define it as someone myself that quite understands it. Like someone, say they're not ingrained in the pickleball world, and they're not, involved too much even on the content, maybe in pickleball, but not even on the content side of it. One, what is an ERNE? Two, what's it about ERNE that you guys love? And three, like, what the hell is this brand you guys built, like mission statement? So if you could start from the first one and kind of just bang, bang, bang those.
Yeah, well, ERNE is like our favorite shot when we play together. It's a type of shot. And so it's when you jump over the kitchen or the non-volley zone, or whatever you call it. It's when you jump over the kitchen and slam it. So we always think about like when someone gets dunked on in a basketball game and the whole crowd just kind of falls on each other. And like, it's this kind of same feeling. And we kind of just love that moment of just domination that we can exert on people.
It's a very straight line between like your story was you went to the Tyler Loom thing, right, to kick it off, and he's kind of known as quote unquote the ERNE King. So it's kind of cool that was your guys' start, and it seems to be the shot that has stuck with you through and through. So is the whole brand, like no matter what, like the whole, like you're trying to get like that whole back, like whoa, like even if it's not an ERNE, it's just something like a highlight or something crazy extreme that just a response from people, right?
Yeah, our slogan has recently kind of become unleash the ERNE, which is like, the ERNE is a shot, but it's also just a state of being of total unbridled swag, cannot be contained, cannot be shut down. And he's just like a real guy with kind of a gut who's hitting an ERNE and he's going, oh!
So you're kind of saying one doesn't have to be into pickleball per se,
Lifestyle.
but they could still live an ERNE lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how would one be able to do that, do you guys think? What type of person, not a pickleball player, this person wakes up, they want to live the ERNE lifestyle. How would one go about that?
That's a great question. Our cousin Maggie recently she's 12, by the way, hired a mariachi band to follow her principal around for the entire day at school. That is unleashing the ERNE.
On her own dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just like
only dime.
People who have the balls to be themselves are unleashing the ERNE. So
yeah, that's the definition.
That's where tennis is wearing white. Pickleball is neon shorts and high socks and loud music. And Scotty and I chest bumping each other after I rip the ball into your stomach because it's hilarious. So
see, I love that. I love that so much because like that's it. Like that's when people are like, what do you love about pickleball? What do you want to like make sure stays with pickleball? What's the differentiator between like pickleball and all the sports that people will equate to it, which obviously the quickest one is tennis, it's capturing the ERNE, right? Yeah. It's, no matter what, like right now the prize pools are what they are. If it goes to 500,000, if it goes to $1 million, if it goes to 1.5, like no matter what, we're not buttoning that top collar. We're not watching what we're saying. Like this sport is this sport. And no matter what, there's going to be that Polynesian man in the corner playing the two girls with tutus because this sport we're just earning, right?
Facts. Woo.
So what types of experiences because of this brand? I see you guys have had the chance. Some of your stuff goes viral. People will chop it up with you in your comments. You'll be responding. Like what's some of the cooler experiences because of this undertaking that you guys have, went down, that you guys have got to experience?
Yeah, well, recently I DM'd Jack Black and he didn't respond yet.
What?
I messaged Manny Lemons, who's a a famous wrestler in Utah. He's in like the minor WWE. I messaged, I don't know. Basically, I think it gives us opportunity to interact with fun people. And
this week, a 40-year-old man sent us an email, and for his birthday, his wife made him a cake with our logo on it because you know,
Like,
that's the kind of
what
stuff
is-
that happens.
And what does that do to you? Like, is that like, do you say like, what the fuck when someone says that? Like, are you just like sitting there like, oh my God, like this is my brand that like, you know, we're just trying to do anything with it. And now there's this 40-year-old guy whose wife is freaking bait, like making a cake with our logo on it. Like, what's the actual conversation that you two have after you read that email?
Well, dude, I mean, big fist pumps. And then it's just like, I think we know, like everyone in their heart just wants to unleash the ERNE, you know? Everyone's just like going out, living their lives, looking for opportunities to just like rip the tracksuit off because that's just like what we all want to do. So it's just like refreshing.
Yeah, it's fun to see people that are like, it's kind of like, it feels sometimes like we're giving them the permission, you know, to just be a little weirder than they like the way they always wanted to. And like, you know, like one dude just sent us a picture of him with his ERNE paddle and like an action figure of Macho Man. And it's like the same feeling where we're just like excited because like, why would he do that? It's like a grown man. And, you know, it's that kind of thing that we love.
No, it's phenomenal. How are you guys on the pickleball side? How is your guys' game?
Oof, Matt.
We believe, just like ERNE does, that we could take anyone on a good day. You know,
Yeah.
we've ripped balls into the chests of some of the best players in the world.
Dave Weinbach repealed an ERNE call.
The Badger. Okay, the
How to
Badger.
hit an ERNE on Dave Weinbach to win a game.
It's on camera.
Yeah, and he called the kitchen on Scotty's ERNE, and upon further review, is clean.
Did the call get overturned, or are we talking about like afterwards? You guys looked at the replay.
No, it was on film.
Way later. I mean, it was so close you couldn't even tell if I like 50-50 I actually ERNE'd him, but he called it with so much confidence, you know. It's just the Badger.
When do you guys even become more of the brand? Because like what your guys saying is like that stuff is like cool as well. Like right now, you know what's synonymous with the face is, and I could actually share my screen because I have it up. I have your Instagram up. When I think of ERNE, I obviously think of our man ERNE. Logo here. But when you tell me stories about you guys and stuff like that, when are we going to be is there any plan like for more of those videos to be on the feed and to be on the website as well?
I think we hope that ERNE himself will always be the face because he is like loud and insane to a degree that we are not, you know? He is like just entertaining beyond belief.
How big can you take this with ERNE though? Like right now, it's an Instagram page. Right now, it's a website with fire merch. Right now, it's also a way of life with that, which I guess there's nothing bigger than a way of life. But let's talk about tangible things. Like in terms of is there going to be an ERNE pickleball team? Is there going to be like ERNE courts? Is there going to be like an ERNE tournament? In your wildest dreams, when you guys are, you know, sitting at home and no one else can hear you, what are some of the crazier thoughts you think you can pull off with this?
1 second.
The best part about running ERNE is the ERNE tourney, which we've done a couple of, which is just like 128 participants, total insanity, fog machine, Dole Whip, super loud music, like biggest crowd you'll see at 3-5 pickleball game ever. I don't know if we're like interested in like sparring with Selkirk. Like we kind of love being like the cult following wild side of pickleball. So I don't know. What do you?
Yeah, no, I mean the one day to do like the biggest tournament would be pretty fun. We put a ton of time into it, so we were like taking a little pause from hosting tournaments, but that's just one way that I think we really kind of can share like the feeling like that of ERNE, which is like everyone that comes or came to the tournament just had a lot of fun. So I think doing like more of those would be one thing that would be pretty exciting.
See, I think it's almost going to be the opposite. I think like it's so perfect with where pickleball is going, like this ERNE lifestyle and like people just wanting to ERNE, that I don't even think, like when you say Selkirk, I don't think you guys are going to have to worry about Selkirk. I think brands like Selkirk and those names are going to want to get with the people who find pickleball through you guys. Because like you said at the top, that growth isn't from the pro player. It's from the casual player. And let's just call a spade a spade. Like I'm an example of a casual player. All my friends are an example of casual players. Like we're a lot more interested in watching videos on your guys' feed than any of these quote unquote brand feeds that it's a commercial for one of their products. That's great. But like, that's just not what I'm watching. Like someone hit a racket because, it has this power with this accuracy. Like that's great. But I want to watch you guys. I want to watch like someone just smacking it into the net or someone having a bad day or someone tripping. So I almost think like by building what you guys are building, it's not competitive in nature at all. It's like you're going to have the ERNE Selkirk. You're going to have ERNE tournaments with one of the big tours. Have any of brands that size, or not even that size, like just that people are aware of, the Selkirks and such, the Gammas, any conversation with you and them?
Just
any collabs. Like I gotta think as this thing is growing and there's so many different brands attacking this different ways that people aren't going to try and do what you want to do, like bringing that life to the party. Just like you guys said, you don't want to compete with Selkirk. So I got to think at some point conversations are going to start, and have they?
I mean, there's a few brands, like not paddle companies, but a few other brands, kind of like what you're doing, where we talked to like the kitchen a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
The Dink, where like we love to kind of, I mean, we haven't had a very like explicit conversation about this, but like we love to work with them and maybe just like partner in what's the word? Like sharing the fun message that we share.
I'm not a wordsmith either. So, but I understand exactly what you're saying in terms of being able to create, like being able to create what you've created with the ERNE thing and saying, hey, you guys have users of, what you guys are doing. You guys have brands that you're doing. Let us show you, how to have fun, or you can show your people kind of what we're doing. And, through brand collaboration or whatever it is. We kind of have that established name of when people, hear ERNE, see ERNE, literally see the logo of ERNE, they kind of know like what's going to follow that, right? It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of chest bumping, hitting shots directly in between people's eyes on their forehead. So definitely, yeah, like that. I could definitely see, that being created. But what would you even see with that? Like, could you even like describe that any further? Like when you say like bringing the fun to them and showing them the fun, like what types of things do you guys think you can do specifically to provide that fun and different value to these brands?
I think we'd love to have people like kind of know ERNE as the one that you like submit your videos to.
I love that.
I'm saying like the Kook Slams or whatever. Like send us your funny video. Send us just a picture of a funny person you saw, or like of your friend, or you're just like mess up or whatever it is. Like I think we kind of want to be the community that people like, that they turn to.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's good. That's good, because this whole episode, basically I try and go with like a theme or a thought process in my mind of what I'm trying to get out of it. And I guess my one question for this is if like, what was that like one thing? Like no one's ever trying to be pigeonholed into one thing, but
yeah,
you have ideas and one thing can be bigger than the other. So you would love to almost be like I hate using this word because it sometimes has a negative connotation, but it doesn't, like the compiler of all different like funny highlights, like when people fuck up or people slip or people hit the ball into the net or people, something doesn't go wrong? Or is it all highlights in general?
No, I don't think it is highlights. I think, the Dink and the kitchen are like pickleball news and pickleball pro highlights. Like if you know what Jerry of the Day and Kook Slams are, like if a person's seen that account, like they know there's like a lifestyle behind surfing that lends itself to so much more joy than just like what brands offer, you know, like within any sport, within any area, there are going to be products and there are going to be brands, but what about like the joy that we get from that? Like there's got to be a place where pickleballers actually want to go and not just watch like product release videos for,
like I just said,
yeah.
Are you guys getting that? Like, what is as you like you're growing and people are now, you know, following you and it's starting to explode with the growth of pickleball? Like, is that starting to happen naturally? Videos coming in, or is it a lot of you guys still going out there and finding the content?
It's mostly us so far. Yeah.
What's the process of that? Just like looking at hashtags and stuff and looking around, seeing if anyone has done anything that catches your eye?
Pretty much so far.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as well when looking for stuff to do. So I know the grind of the Instagram hashtags. So how do we do that? How can we accomplish that? What can we do to get people to know that ERNE is a spot for this? Is it just keep on doing what you guys are doing, and then hopefully it's enough that people are like, hey, I watched this, I saw my aunt do this, and I have a video, let me send it in? Is it going to be naturally, or is there any thought process that you guys have had in terms of the next step and how to rev that up?
Yeah, you know, we're trying to do it organically. Like, you know, we have like a little bit less than 2,000 followers. Like the bigger Instagram accounts have like less than 1% engagement, which is like, it means either their content is not that good or their followers are fake. Like our engagement is like 15% right now. So like you'd like to think that if we just kept it up, like it would happen organically, but we'll see like if people actually care to have an account like that. So,
and I think they will. What's the thing that catches your eye in pickleball? Like what's the shit that, if like, you know, you get a bunch of videos, what's like the one thing that makes you guys laugh out of all other stuff?
Oh, dude, that is a great question, man. I think just getting drilled in the body is hilarious.
Yes.
I think old people in costumes always gives me just a rush. You know?
Wait, I've never seen that.
There's a guy named Pickleball Is Life, just old guy on YouTube, films himself playing every day. And there's like Batman costumes and stuff, dude. That guy gets me, man.
That's hysterical. I agree with you that when people get drilled and kind of like even sometimes when they get missed, but just like their reaction of like holding up the paddle or turning, that's that's something that definitely catches my eye. I'm trying to think what else on a pickle. Yeah, that's probably the big. What are the common ones that you guys find are the ones that get the most engagement from other people as well?
Honestly, we've just been making a lot of memes, dude.
The memes.
We made a stupid meme with Klay Thompson yesterday. He got like 35,000 views. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's just Klay. We love Klay Thompson, you know? That's pretty much all there is to it.
So, yeah, like isn't that crazy in the content space? Like, do you find that often, like things that you guys think you're just posting like a meme or maybe didn't spend too much time on is the stuff that resonates with so much people, and then on the other side, you know, you spend some time for like what you guys think is the killer highlight or the killer meme, and it just doesn't go the way you thought?
Yeah, it's hit and miss, you know.
Is there any other real recent ones that, besides the Klay Thompson, have taken off?
Bunch of the memes have a few hundred. The We Pickleball video has 100 shares. Like it was DM'd 100 times, which is like
that's insane.
Down.
You're right on
that one
right there
next to Jack Black and Hulk.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yo, well, this is how we originally first started talking, right? I reached out to you about the Wii. Like, I was like, yo, send me the thing that we could sign so we can get people to, you know, make a virtual Wii game. A virtual pickleball game. But Yo, I sent this to mad people. I sent this to a bunch of people.
This is the real purpose for our existence. We just pretend to be a business, but all we really want is to have pickleball be an official Wii sport.
Yo,
we're grinding for this.
When I showed, people already think like my obsession with pickleball has gotten to like another level. Like my friends, we play, but they just don't get like what I got going on with it right now. When I sent them this video, they were like, dude, you've broken bad. Like, what is going on with this? And I'm like, no, this is like, and they were dying. They're like, this is hysterical because, you know, we're all from the same age. We're like, you hear this noise. Everyone knew exactly what it was. And it fits so perfectly with pickleball, like the kitchen battles back and forth. Yeah, this was a good one. This is one that my friends very, very much enjoyed. And I'm probably a few of those 100 shares. Let's take it to the website though. Before I don't want to let you guys go without covering this. Anything specific for merch or part of the website you guys even want to show off?
Well, dude, it's not on the website, but we have 6 paddles coming out in the next few weeks.
Okay, what's anything? Can you spill the beans on them because they're not on the website?
Can't say anything.
Just gorgeous in-your-face designs.
And how long until that happens?
I think we're gonna go 1 a week or something like that for the next few weeks. So
limited run.
This Star Spangled ERNE up here on the right was the first of our designs, but we put it up for pre-order, and it got sold out before we even got to release it. So, like, we have to technically release that, which I think we're gonna do soon. But
let me ask you this. What if I committed right now to buying one of each for the run? Would you be able to save me one?
We are all the way out of that paddle.
Oh no, I'm saying for the ones that you release going forward.
Yeah, we can save you one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll shoot you guys whatever like the total is for the rest of these because these were sick. Let me just ask you the follow-up question. Honestly, what's the caliber of the paddles for actual like use of playing the game? Because obviously they're beautiful. I'm someone, I can tell you out flat, I've only used an Onyx Z5. Like,
oh, dude, GG.
The starter paddle, like, is this like what's this relative to that or relative to the other paddles?
So, I mean, the Onyx is similarly priced, but I think our paddles are the best quality you can get for the price. I think it probably has. I haven't used the Z5 in a while, but I'm pretty sure it's just like heavy, right? It's just like a heavy paddle.
It's relative to when I hold, like when I grip like my friend's paddles, like when I see one that I've never seen before, just to feel it out, like definitely on the heavier side. Yeah, that's specifically why I asked, because 100%, like the price is exactly the same, so very easy for like comparison. So
I think it's
safe to say you're not only going for the aesthetics, like they look sick, but these are ones that, like, if people want to play in competitive games, 100% would use them.
Yeah, we play with it, like we compete with it. Compared to the Z5, I think it's equal or greater power. It has like more spin than any paddle we've seen, and it's 16.5 inches. So we love the length, obviously, for the ERNE, but just like if you're aggressive, it's a really good paddle. You can do like the 2-hand backhand. It's got a longer handle probably than the Onyx.
The paddle is like made for us, like for people who have a savage style of play. So like it's longer, like more ATPs, more ERNEs, more poaching, more taking your partner's balls. It has more spin. Like we rip our serves like as hard as we possibly can, and like this is kind of for that. And
no,
just
that's kind of, this is all like, I'm liking this because I'll just be honest. Like a lot of times when I see stuff, and not anything with you guys or any specific brand, when I see like really cool, like looking things, obviously my first notion is like, okay, if it's priced the same and like it looks really cool, what it's lacking is like the actual utility and to use it. So if someone genuinely asked me, I'd be like, these probably like aren't as, good as similar price that don't look as good. So to hear that they actually are for playing, that that's pretty cool. Is that a focus, like to get ERNE paddles in people's hands? And what type of, does anyone come to you with similar thoughts that I just did? Like, hey, they look really cool, but I'm not sure they would be the ones to use in like a competitive match because they look so cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of, I don't know if it's because they look cool, but I think there's plenty of people trying to sell pickleball paddles. So, like, if you're not one of the 10 I've heard of, I'm going to be skeptical. Skeptical is kind of the mindset of most people. But when people actually use it, it usually makes it pretty easy for people to realize. Like, people just need to hold it and hit with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because I would not have guessed that. So I'm pretty hyped to get my hands on one of these. And you said 6 will be going out over the next 6 weeks? Or I don't want to say
2 or 3 months, I'd say.
Okay. So it'll start soon, and then you said when you say 6 and the Star Spangled Banner being 1, is that 5 more or 6 plus the Star Spangled Banner?
It's 5 more.
Okay, 5 more, and you can't say what they are, but are they like similar? Like, I don't even know how to define it, but like similar vibe of this Star Spangled Banner one that I see in front of me now.
Yeah, they're similar. They're all bright and crazy. So that's what everyone told us they liked about the first one. So we're trying to keep that. So
we covered the genesis of the account. We covered why you guys created it. You covered what an ERNE is. You covered what the lifestyle of living the ERNE lifestyle is. We got on the site, we got on the Instagram, we saw some of these paddles, not just aesthetically pleasing, but will also help you if you play an aggressive kick-ass style where you want to hit people in the chest, like the ERNE brothers right here. These are the paddles for that.
Facts.
What else? Did we cover it all? Is there anything else to tell your guys' story?
Matt?
Dude, I think that was a great synopsis of everything. Last thing to cover is that Scotty is going to be on Steph Curry's TV show, Holy Moly, or has a call for it today.
Let's go. Are you good at mini golf?
The talent producer is going to call any minute, actually, so I kind of have to.
No worries. We're going to wrap this up.
Which would be the 3rd time that Scotty is on national television in the last 2 years.
Yo, are you good? Are you good at mini golf?
Yeah, I'm really good.
How do you even get hooked up with that? You just kind of like enter and they hit.
You just apply to as many game shows as you can, and then give them a good pitch. Like
my mom was on Family Feud growing up, so I have that running in my family as well as being a family on one of the great running TV shows. But awesome. This was great. We covered everything. I'll let you go before you run into that person calling you. But let's talk a little bit offline because some of the stuff that you guys talked about, partnerships and the vibe that you guys kind of have with some of the stuff we're building with the community of Knights of Degen that we have backing us. I think there's definitely some potential to get some of these pickleball paddles in some of our community members' hands because a lot of people in our community either have started playing pickleball or because of this are getting into it. And all of them legit, like the reason why we vibe is you guys would just be members of Knights of Degen. Like it's all just love sports gambling, Degens that want to party and bet and drink and just have fun and legit just no idea, like jump over the line and smack it into someone's faces, not say sorry, but instead turn around and give them the finger. Like that's our whole vibe. So like we really like vibe with that. So let's talk offline and let's definitely work on something because I think there's some potential here.
Yeah.
Good stuff, bro.
Love it.
Thanks
all right, brothers. Well,
yeah,
I appreciate this. I'm sure this will be the first of many times that we get to kick back and have a conversation about ERNE and the beautiful game. But have a wonderful night, and hopefully you got to let me know how the call goes so then I can let everyone know to tune in to watch you on Holy Moly, all right?
Yes, I will. Thank you. Bro. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, peace out, bros. Have a great night.
Okay.